tennis balls. Let's get to some hot topics. Some very hot topics. Um, a very funny thing. It's funny to me. A lot of people are very much in their feelings about this, but it's funny to me. The situation that's happening with Bruno Mars. Now, a good friend of mine uh, wrote something, which kind of, I had been seeing I don't know, I've been seeing the news of what's happening. And, I was like, whatever, no, it's not that big of a deal. But when my friend posted something, and I read his opinion about it, I was kind of shocked because he was defending Bruno Mars. Now, I don't have anything against Bruno Mars himself making the music that he's making. I think he does a great job. Everyone loves Bruno Mars. Well, clearly not everybody, but the general public seem to really enjoy his music. It's fun. It's throwback to James Brown. It's funky. It's feel good. It's at every single wedding, but it's generally enjoyable. You don't have to put too much thought into it. You don't have to think about if you can sing or not. Not for me to decide. But no, whether you like his singing, whether you like the beats, whether you like the band, you enjoy the music generally. If you are a fan of that kind of music. But he was kind of taking offense to the thought that what Bruno Mars was doing was cultural appropriation. And he was saying things like, well, why can't he make the music? Or is it only for our people? Or if you're going to take him out, then you got to take this person, this person, this person. And what surprised me is that it seems, and this is also why I generally don't jump into these conversations, is because it's a false argument. The problem is not with Bruno Mars. The problem is not with people like Eminem or arguably Sam Smith or Adele even, you know. Iggy Azalea, she's on that line. You know what I mean? Sure, there's somebody pulling the strings and making the choices, but she seems like I don't know. Maybe it's just like I just don't like her, so I'm being a little bit harsh. But anyway, the problem is not with the people making music or making art or using culture in a way, for me, as much as it's a problem with the people or the way it's received. Elvis was not the best at what he was doing, but he was the king of rock and roll. Eminem, who's a very talented rapper, is one of the best singing or best selling hip hop artists. Iggy, what was it? Did she win a Grammy? Was a Grammy? She was at least nominated for Grammys. And then you get to this point where, like, okay, why is it that non members of a certain community are more successful financially than the members of that very community that they are exploiting? And then people will say, well, Eminem's one of the greatest rappers. Adele's an amazing singer. You know what? That's fine. And maybe there's some instances where that's true. But you can't keep telling me that there's these non-African American people doing African American music at a higher level than African Americans. You can't find an African American who can sing better than Adele. I got a list of at least 20 people. At least 20 people. But they'll never put them up. They'll never put them up because as a whole, society wants Adele's face when they hear Hello from the Other Side. They don't want to see Jennifer Hudson or Fantasia. And they'll do well and they'll have careers, but they won't be Adele. Adele said, without Beyonce, there's no me. Yeah, that sounds nice, but it's not really true. Because you have to reach a Beyonce level to have similar financial success as Adele, even though Beyonce is 100 times better of an artist. Anyway, so my thing is, if we're all benefiting from the culture, from the music, from the art, the same, everyone can do it. But if there's only one group of people that are benefiting, that are reaching levels of success, I'm not okay with that. That's not okay. My friend was like, well, then what about the Beatles and, oh gosh, the average white man? I'm like, I don't care. They don't have a right to our culture and music. They don't make make something else up. I'm not saying that should be the way, but you don't have a right to a person's culture because you heard it, because you like it. No, I'm sorry. No, no. There's a problem, in my opinion, with our country and exploiting black and brown